I learned Swan Lake today, and I encountered, dotted half notes, and I also started to learn Ode to Joy, and then I encountered a dotted quarter and then an eighth note. And so at that point, I was like, okay, you really need to take the time out to understand rhythm and counting. And so that's what I did using ChatGPT. And then I wrote in my manuscript book. It's just pretty much plain paper with the staff. And so this is how it makes sense to me. So let's say we have a regular quarter note, like right here. A regular quarter note is equivalent to you saying one and. And what was tripping me out, I was like, oh, 1 is 1 second. Like, no, 1 is a half of a count, and then and is another half of a count, and together they make one beat. So 1 and, that's 1 beat. And then this is an eighth note right here. So this is an eighth note, and I learned that it's a eighth note. 2 eighth notes are connected by a beam, and so an eighth note is half of a quarter note. And so when I would count this, it would just be 2, which represents a half of a beat, and then and, which represents another half of a beat, and together they make 1 beat. And then you're back to the quarter note. It's 3, and, because 1 note equals 2 halves of a beat. So 3 and another quarter note, which represents 1 beat, which is equal to 2 halves. So 4 and so I kind of do like 0.5s. That's how I think about it, and now it makes sense to me. And so moving on to the quarter notes that are individual, it's when it has an individual quarter note, it has a flag as a stem. I learned that. And then with dotted notes, it just means, the dot means you add half whatever the note is in front of it to the entire note. So this is a quarter note, which is worth 1 beat, and so half of 1 is a half, so this would represent 1.5. So when you say this, it would be 1 and 2. See over here, 1 and, representing the 1 beat, and then a half a beat, 2. So essentially that's how I understand it. And so what I'm trying to do now is, instead of saying notes in like the individual numbers, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say 1 and to represent 1 note. And so with me doing that for Swan Lake, it would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and, since it's 3 beats total, and then 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 4 and then just start all over. So I'm glad I got that understood, so I can move forward and just have better rhythm and just counting. But that's my way, and that's how I understand it. That's all I have.